Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Anna Morfides with Mending Hearts Counseling, and today is day 6 of our healing our attachment style journey. But along with healing our anxious attachment style, we are also cultivating a new self-concept for ourselves. We are cultivating self-love and gratitude for self, which will give us that positive sense of self that we lack as anxious attached children, and it will also raise our vibration purely by moving in the human consciousness model by David Hawkins. The energetic hertz of an emotion that is predominantly like living from within us is what is determined by the law of attraction through the universal law of like attracts like and brings in experiences to us. So the higher we are thinking thoughts that produce good emotions that are higher in hertz according to this human consciousness model, the more better feeling experiences we're going to be having in our lives. So with that said, actually, I'm just going to show you what this diagram is. Okay, so I'm going to show you on my laptop the David Hawkins map of human consciousness, the emotion, the frequency and energy that it emits, and the life view that comes with that emotion. So I used this actually as part of a workshop that I did earlier this year, how to stay positive in the workforce, and it really hit home. I had about 32 people sign up. So it's quite astonishing sometimes to think and to hear how many people do live in the suffering portion of the human consciousness map. So the suffering portion is down here where the red is, where apathy, guilt, and shame live, and the frequency in hertz of that energy that comes with these emotions are 50, 30, and 20. And then, the consciousness level, I guess, is guilt and shame. And then the emotions are humiliation, blame, despair, just to name a few. And then the life view is hopeless, evil, miserable. And you can only imagine what that does to a person. It will only bring in more experiences that will reflect just that. But the more we practice gratitude and self-love, then we're going to keep raising our vibrational frequency, because I started down here. I lived very much in guilt and shame, ridden with fear, then anger, but then I started to be like really proud of myself for wanting to do the work, and then having the courage to do the work. And then I started to be kind of neutral about what other people thought about me and things like that, or trying to please people or being a doormat. Then I had the willingness to really accept myself for who I was and where I was. And then I started to reason with myself about, when I understood things about my anxious attachment style, I would understand why I was behaving in the ways that I was. So then I started to really love myself and be joyful and have peace in my life. So then I went from suffering so these two are suffering. This over here is surviving. The green is surviving. And then here we go into, this is pure enlightenment. I forget what this is. I'm going to check it really quickly, actually. What is that level? Flow. It's the flow of life, of course. Being in the purple is the flow of life, which means that you are basically not having any resistance or any discomfort. You're just basically allowing yourself to be in the flow of life. And love, reverence, the emotion reverence is just so peaceful. And then benign is also being so gracious and just without any malice, just pure. And how nice would it be to be able to live life in these frequencies, as opposed to the ones that were gifted to us with our anxious attachment style, which we're riding in the yellow and the red. Especially for me, I know I was in particular like reading with a lot of fear. Yes, so without further ado, we're just going to continue our journey into healing our energetic part of ourself, which is the biggest manifester when it comes to creating our 3D reality, because that energy in motion is what is going to be attracting, because energy is everything and everything is energy. So what we attract is the predominant of vibrational frequency that we are. So we're going to continue changing it, and we are going to start off with our gratitude book by Rhonda Byrne. This is the sequel to The Secret, and for those of you that don't know, The Secret is actually just this one little big sentence that basically says, when we are grateful for the things that we have in our life, the chances that we're going to receive more things to be grateful for in our life are basically 100%. But when we are resentful and angry about the things that we don't have in our life, we're going to continue to reinforce that cycle of what we don't have, what we don't have, what we don't have. Because like Deepak Chopra says, attention and intention is everything. So where are we putting our attention? Are we putting our attention on the things that we have, or are we putting our attention on the things that we don't have? And what is our intention? Is our intention to stay so stuck in what we don't have, or is our intention to really think and feel and believe that we are worth everything and we are going to have that which we desire? So we stay focused on what we want and we are grateful for what we currently have, so then we can get it. Because by complaining and or wishing for things to be different, we're going to accomplish nothing other than bringing in more experiences for us to feel more shitty about within our life. So day number 6, works like magic. If you take any activity, any art, any discipline, any skill, take it and push it as far as it will go, push it beyond where it has ever been before, push it to the wildest edges of the edges, then you force it into the realm of magic. And this enforces what most spiritual teachers, some of, the greatest teachers in the world say: follow your passion and take it to the furthest that you can possibly take it, without any fear, without any attachment to any outcome, just with a pure joy and knowing that if this is meant to be yours, it's going to be yours. And you just do it without any fear, whether it's a relationship or a job opportunity, a location that you want to live in, whatever it is, pursue your passion to the furthest that you can take it. So then you don't have to ever leave this life, like the book that I read, The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. Basically, being on the last hours of this human experience that we are so blessed to be having right now, and wishing that we did something that we weren't able to do because of fear, whether it's fear what are people going to say, fear limitations in our minds. They're not going to hire me, they're not going to like me, they're not going to want to go out with me, that will never happen to me, I'll never be able to get into the school. All these thoughts, bullshit. Cut it out. It is bullshit. If we think and feel this way about ourselves, that's what we're going to manifest. That's why we have to change the way that we think and feel about ourselves, so we can stop chasing and allow things to come. Things are supposed to be coming to us. They're coming to us. They're coming to us because we know that we are worthy. We believe it. We know that we deserve it because we're beating our anxious attachment style that had a negative self-view, and we are having a positive self-view and know that just like a secure attached person, we are worth of the same life experience. So we're going to continue to know that in order to be a person who is okay, so actually, sorry, the question goes something like this. How can it be that a person who is born into total poverty, starting out with nothing and having very little education, they go on to become a president or a celebrity, or build an empire? Like, if you think about the people that built the airplane, they were the ones that were doing it out of pure, the Wright brothers, because somebody else was in competition with them who was more into receiving the fame for that as opposed to having the passion to create the airplane. So of course the Wright brothers were the ones that did it because they were coming from a pure place of wanting to create the airplane. And then Oprah is like the most amazing example of someone who came from nothing, but she is such an advocate for gratitude, self-love, meditation, affirmations. She gets this concept, the law of attraction. She is all about it. And yeah, so how is it someone like that becomes someone like Oprah? It's because through gratitude for things that they have right now and affirming to themselves that they deserve it all, and they don't second guess that. Predominantly, they believe that they can, and they are grateful for what they have and keep going for more. So that is the secret. So if we can control the amount that we receive, but the amount of gratitude that we give, we're going to be doing a lot of gratitude today on the things that we actually have in this current moment. So if you're a business owner, your business value will increase according to your gratitude. The more grateful you are for your business, your customers, your employees. Like, I know having a business is very stressful, but if we focus on the positive things predominantly, of course, there's going to be moments that we're going to bitch or complain about what goes on. But if we are predominantly grateful about the bills that we pay, or even the angry customers that give us a chance to do different, if we just continue to stay on the gratitude side of things, we're going to receive more. If you're a parent and your work is taking care of your home, and believe me, I know this one can be very challenging, because in my mind, I'm doing dishes or cleaning up, and I'm always like, oh, I'm so grateful to be, able to even have a home or a kitchen to feed them and then have dishes to eat. Like, I'm constantly reframing my thoughts that I want to be like, why do I have to do all these dishes and all this work all the time? Yes, so children, it is often a once in a lifetime opportunity, and when we can be grateful for this time, we will attract more support, more help, more beautiful moments, and more happiness to the experience. And again, like I said, believe me, I want to rip my hair out most days with my children and my doggy. It is a lot. They're constantly taking from us. But that's why we have to make sure that we fill our cup and stay grateful and loving predominantly, so then we can just continue to give them this experience, which will break these stupid cycles of having not secure attachment styles in the first place, and just raise them to know their worth. So the more grateful we are for ourselves and being able to be parents to them, the more easy this challenge of being a parent will feel, and the better humans they're going to become. Therefore, if they decide to have children, they'll be better parents, and so on and so on. And then, of course, about our job, we should love our job, but if we find ourselves in transition or in a position that we have to be in right now, but we know that it doesn't have to be for the rest of our lives, because we shouldn't have any fear in any area, really. We should just know that there is an end to everything. Like, we don't have to think in our minds, I have to be stuck in this relationship, or I have to stay in this job because who else is going to pay me? Who else is going to love me? No, at the right time, if you decide that you want to experience something different, under the right circumstances, then yes, you can, and you are worthy of it. Always. No fear. You remember where fear is in that human diagram of consciousness? It's down below. Just only love, acceptance, courage, willingness, acceptance. All that will give you a better energetic advantage in experiencing life more harmoniously. And if you remember, you're in the purple, you're in the flow of life, as opposed to being in the just getting by or the suffering part of it. And whatever job it is that we're finding ourselves in right now, we are going to do this practice today, that there's an invisible manager whose job is to keep a record of the thoughts and feelings that we have about our job today. So we're going to imagine that this person is following us wherever we go today, and they are poised with a pen and notebook in hand, and every time we find something about our job to be grateful for, our manager will take a note of it. So our job is to find as many things as we can to be grateful for our job. So at the end of the day, your manager can have the longest list of gratitude. The longer the list, the more magic your invisible manager can bring to your money, your work success, your opportunities, your enjoyment, and your fulfillment. And I see here that I wrote out, I used to own a daycare, and that was kind of, this is before I opened up, or I went back to school to become a counselor, opened up my practice. And that was a lot of hard work, although it was very rewarding. And I see that I wrote out so many things that I was grateful for. And like, I'm grateful that I get to work from home. I'm grateful that the house, I have the parents to be able, I'm grateful for the times I have created. And oh yeah, like I was so grateful about the hours that I was able to create for my daycare, because I remember in the beginning I was told that if I'm not Monday to Friday 9 to 5, I'll never make it. But I was like, no, I'm going to eventually be 3 days a week, and I'm going to be from 9 to 1. I'm going to be like a preschool, and it's going to work for me. And then it did. And I found the right parents that were stay-at-home moms and just needed that break in the morning. And so it was perfect. So never stop believing you can make it in whatever you want to make it in. And then I continued on to say that I am grateful that I can, pick up my kids from school with my daycare kids. I am grateful that I can read during their nap time. I'm grateful that I can't even read my writing. So I'm grateful that I can help support my local community, and grateful for my salary, and so on and so on. So you get it. So even if something feels challenging, you're just going to write all the things that you're grateful for in that job that you have. And then the magic practice for the entire day, of course, is going to be like we did before, writing out 10 things that we're grateful for ourselves. 10 things that we're grateful for overall in our life. 5 of them, I would love for you to have them to be on yourself. So today I really needed to do gratitude on my, my body, because I feel like sometimes I'm hard on myself and critical. So instead of doing the usual thing that I want to do after I shower and I'm getting dressed, I force myself to do the complete opposite and just give my body so much love and so much compliments, and the complete opposite of what I wanted to do, because why would I even do the opposite? Like, it sounds so silly. Like, there's no point to it. Like, why guilt and shame myself? So yeah, so today I'm really grateful for my body that is able to have me walk or run, digest my food, keep me happy and healthy, and yes, like just alive and full of energy, so I can do all the things that I love. So thank you. And we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna have our list that we're gonna make with our imaginary manager that's with us, taking note of all the good things that we're grateful for in our current position. And if you don't have a job, you can also do gratitude for the future, the things that you want to feel in your job. I would love to work. I'm so grateful that I work this many hours a week, or I'm grateful that I get to wear this at work, or I'm grateful that I get to work with people, or I'm outside, or I'm inside, or I'm in an office, or whatever it is. Just send your gratitude for what it is that you are wanting to experience and just allow it to come and find you. And before we go to sleep at night, we're going to do our gratitude with our rock, which is trying to find the thing that we are the most grateful for this particular day today, that forces us to shift through the day. We're going to think of all the wonderful things that happened. So then we let go of the ones that were challenging or not feeling good because we're just forced to think about those. And then we pick the best one, which will put us in a state of gratitude, not resentment, because you can't be grateful or anything else at the same time. And then you're going to have better sleep, better everything. So with that said, let's transition to our mirror work. So day 6 today is actually really, really important. It's releasing our inner critic. Today, we're going to learn to break the habit of judgment and self-criticism and to go beyond the need to put ourselves down. Look in the mirror today and take a few moments to congratulate yourself. You are beginning to love and approve of yourself, so at least to be willing to do so. Wherever you are in the process, celebrate the progress you have made so far. I celebrate you and your commitment to your mirror work. The more mirror work you do, the more aware of your self-talk you become. If I ask you to play a tape of your inner dialogue today, what would it sound like? Would you be listening to negative affirmations like, I'm so stupid, I'm such a klutz, nobody asks me what I think, why are there so many inconsiderate people? Is your inner voice constantly picking at everything? Are you seeing the world through critical eyes? Do you judge everything? Do you stand in self-righteousness? So many of us have such a strong habit of judging and criticism that we cannot easily break it. I used to be a constant complainer, full of self-pity. I loved to wallow in the pits. I didn't know that I was perpetuating situations in which to pity myself. I didn't know any better in those days. It is so important to do your mirror work because it makes you acutely aware of judgments and negative self-talk and allows you to release your inner critic as soon as you can. You will never be able to love yourself until you go beyond the need to put yourself down and make life wrong. What helped Louise Hay actually eventually know, she started to really listen to what she was saying, and she became so aware of her inner critic that she worked really hard to stop it. She began to say the affirmations in front of her mirror without quite knowing what that meant, but she just kept going and going and going. And then she realized what positive changes were starting to take place in her life. And this is how the birth of her book Mirror Work came about, because she was someone who was completely abused and beaten, and she was raped at age 5. Like, she had a lot of things to be a victim about. But yes, through mirror work, she changed her entire vibration. And as we saw earlier in the David Hawkins diagram, we can do that too. We can raise our vibration so we can have more feeling good experiences. So we're going to continue to do the mirror work, because when we make it okay to be yourself, then you automatically allow others to be themselves as well. The less we criticize ourselves, the less we need to criticize others. The less we judge ourselves, the less we have the need to judge others, and so forth and so forth. And then we also release the need to change others as we want them to be, because it doesn't matter. So today we're going to affirm, it is safe for me to release my inner critic and move into love. It is safe for me to release my inner critic and move into love. So we're going to find our mirror and we're going to do our mirror work. We're going to look into the mirror, straight into our eyes, and we're going to say these affirmations. Again, I know it feels a little bit weird, but we're just going to keep doing it. I'm looking at myself and I'm going to say, I love you. And you can take a moment too to like really look deeply into yourself. I know sometimes that's really odd too, but it's kind of nice to be able to just look at yourself and just say, I love you. I know you're doing the best that you can. You are perfect just as you are. I approve of you. I love you. And feel free to do this exercise several times if you need to, or if you want to give yourself a hug when you're looking at yourself in the mirror and just say, I love you, I love you, I love you. And if we want to take this further with journaling, we can make a list of 5 things that we criticize ourselves for, and then go down that list and see, when did that become to actually be a reality in our life? Like, when did that belief actually start, that criticism? And Louise Hay says that sometimes we will be amazed for how long we've been beating ourselves up for with the same critical thought, but we're gonna let it go today, and we're going to continue with our meditation. So I invite you to have a seat. You can sit up tall or you can lie down. You can have your back upright so we can have all our beautiful energy centers, all 7 of them lined up from the top of our crown all the way to the bottom of our root chakra. And if you notice, even in the David Hawkins diagram, all the colors of the diagram, starting from red at the bottom, going to purple, all the way to the top, those are the colors of the chakras. They start red, orange, yellow, green is heart, throat is blue, and your third eye is purple, and then your crown is white. We're going to have all of our chakras aligned, focusing in on the heart. And we are going to take 3 deep breaths. And remember, your inhale should be a little bit shorter than your exhale. So exhaling longer because we're letting things out. We're inhaling in love. Exhaling out things that are not serving. Inhaling love. Inhaling love. And exhaling out from deep from our belly button anything that is not serving. And I'm going to read our meditation for today, because we're going to be healing our heart by loving and accepting ourselves exactly as we are, because we all have areas of our lives that we think are unacceptable and unlovable. If we are really angry with parts of ourselves, we often engage in self-abuse, and we abuse alcohol or drugs or cigarettes. We might be overeating or beating ourselves up emotionally. And one of the worst things that we do, which causes more damage than anything else, is criticizing ourselves. We need to stop all criticism. Once we get in the habit of not criticizing ourselves, it is amazing how we stop criticizing others as well. We realize that everyone is a reflection of us, and what we see in another person is what we see in ourselves. When we complain about someone, we are really complaining about ourselves. When we can truly love and accept who we are, there is nothing to complain about. We cannot hurt ourselves. We cannot hurt another person. So again, we must accept all of ourselves. So let your heart open and make plenty of room in there for all parts of yourself. The parts you are proud of, the parts that embarrass you, the parts you reject, and the parts that you love. They are all you. You're beautiful. We all are. When your heart is so full of love for yourself, then you have so much to share with others. Let this love now fill your room and radiate out to all the people that you know. Mentally put the people you care about in the center of your room so that they can receive the love from your overflowing heart. Now see the child in each of these people dancing as children, and skipping and shouting and doing somersaults and cartwheels. All of these inner children, free, filled with exuberant joy, expressing all their best of the child within them. And let your inner child go and play with the other children. And let your inner child dance. Let your inner child feel safe and feel free. Let your child be all that it ever wanted to be. You are perfect and whole and complete, and all is well in your wonderful world. And so it is. Wow, that was so beautiful. I totally had forgotten this one. If you want to come back to the room, you're more than welcome to come back and open up your eyes, or if you want to stay lying down or seated with your eyes closed, still enjoying this beautiful image of all of our inner all of our inner children playing together, because when our wounds and our attachment styles and all things were acquired, it's at that time that they were gifted to us. So let's go back to that time where we can truly just be free of all these bonds that are holding us back from truly loving ourselves and becoming who we were supposed to be in this life. Yeah, so beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me on day 6. We're going to continue on this journey for 21 days. So we're almost at week 1, and I can't wait to see what the end of week 1 is going to feel like. So again, thank you so much for any likes, comments, subscribes, donations to the channel, anything. I am so grateful and so appreciative, and I will see you tomorrow for day 7.